Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 83 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players, same as always. We have Kyle, Mac, Josh, and Christo. Everybody send you positive energies out to our cleric. He is fine, but who doesn't need more energy? You may also send energy to me if you got extra. Whatever you
And,
need.
or mead as well if you happen to
If
have
there
extra
is
on top of
if there is
that.
a third serving, you may give it to Mac, but I would like the second one, please. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick recap and never speak of bingo again. We're playing bingo. Anyways,
Look at the
and then
Instagram.
Instagram has bingo on it. Each character has a sheet. They're trying to get bingo to get inspiration and fill the whole card of prompts and goals to receive a magic item of their choice. Feel like a couple people are getting a little close. Some not so much. Some not very close. Some a little close. But anyways, let's jump into a recap. Last episode, you had decided that you would not engage in combat or conversation with possible cultists. And we're like, actually, that's none of our business, was the final consensus as you rode down the street, keeping eyes out if they were going to pursue you, and the night passed without incident. The only incident was the heartstrings that were pulled as we had some lovely conversations between Roshan and Nana as they sort of discussed how they feel and how Roshan hasn't been sleeping and he doesn't need to, and how they both feel about Ave and possibly the things in this journal and who they are and what they do in this group.
It's all complicated.
And it's like, good. Um, leaving on pretty good terms. The party moves ahead, I believe, 3 days. During this time, Roshan uses the lantern to see invisible writing in Ave's journal, where he learns a handful of distressing information. It's really a toss-up. Throughout this, it is Ave's account of what it sounds like creating the ritual that you guys helped finish in Galunder. Talking about the pearls that he had consumed, talking about the chief's crest. And then at the end of this, still at the very end of the journal, there's still more pages, but from what Roshan was able to read, Ave said that he was going to talk to Rose about helping him, leaving Roshan in a piss poor mood. And just as they arrive at Ink's Traveling Museum, which had been part of a prophecy in the sense of pulling them eastward, but now they actually get to see the actual thing. A very charismatic man steps up, introduces the place, says, if you try to steal anything or harm me, these two hulking, stone statues of Odin and Tyr will pummel you to death. But I tell that to everybody, definitely not just you guys. He then asks if you'd like the tour. You all agree. He accepts your gold, walks around the back of the cart, and out comes Chelsea. Chelsea, a very nice young woman, gives the tour as Gorbjorn tries to convince everybody there that he is a prince. And, I feel like he's doing it. I feel like he's doing a damn good job.
He's doing it.
And at the end of the tour, after Chelsea walks back behind the cart and tells, sadly, Gorbjorn, who came in pursuit, that maybe when she gets off work, they can kiss. But he leaves
He's
dejected.
Not used to the later.
And then back from the other side, Ink comes back out and asks if you are mercenaries. The answer was no. And he's like, do you want to be? And seemed interested in having you escort him and his 2 carts full of very rare, expensive items to a couple towns over. And before he can tell you how much he wants to give, or Gorbjorn can trade items for this this endeavor. Roshan bows up in this man's place of business and calls him out in front of everybody,
God and everybody.
implying that there is no Chelsea, and if there is a Chelsea, she's a liar. And by proxy, you're a liar. And in that moment, you watch as the body of Ink changes into the shape of Roshan, now wearing the same clothing, but now standing eye to eye with Roshan, just staring into his eye. There's a hint of just annoyance on his face. And that is where we left off, with you calling this man out for being a changeling, which it seems
He is.
very likely.
They are whomever.
And
lore question. Changelings, do they like steal children in this world?
no, they're not like
Okay.
fey creatures.
Okay.
They are just shapeshifters.
They got their own lives.
Yeah. They're like, I'm good. I got a lot going on. I don't want your life. I want that guy's life. But changelings are also the creatures that Loki had spoken about, where he's like, don't tell my kids I'm here. Being the creator of that race on accident. Little drop there if that wasn't picked up, but I just think it's fun. Anyways, he is, I wouldn't say like bowed up, but he is standing near nose to nose with Roshan.
Ooh,
And that's where
boy.
we're going to pick up. What would you like to do?
Uh,
I think Roshan just says, "Well, aren't you handsome?"
not wrong.
Don't
Watch the
don't
face
hurt him.
falter.
Don't hurt him, Roshan.
Roshan, don't hurt Roshan. It's not worth it, Roshan.
This face is far too pretty to make a mess of.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
I think that we can all agree with that.
Can I help you?
Oh, a double 9, but that's a 19.
Yeah.
I lied. It's a 17.
Still,
Okay.
Bards.
Still, Bard.
These eyes narrowed at you, your own eyes, and then they soften, and you hear your own voice laugh, and it's just like a solid pat to your shoulder, and Ink steps back. If you're not interested in working with me, that's fine. I'm not going to be offended about it. Got too much to worry about anyways.
It's not that we're uninterested in working with you. I just prefer we work together under a pretense of honesty. And while I enjoyed the show between you and Chelsea, if we're to keep you safe, then there are things we need to know.
Like how many of you there are?
How many people are in that card? Ink looks
I-
over at Fen. Honestly, if you describe somebody, they're probably in there.
I understand, but when it comes to actually protecting your lives, we need to know how many people whose lives we're protecting along the
Yeah.
road.
I see.
It's a giant blue lady back there.
Oh, let me go check.
No! Fen, it's one person.
I understand.
who can look like-
I understand, but that's the pretense of honesty that Roshan's talking about. That if we're to do this job, we need to know that information up front.
Well, the information
You mean
is
how many identities will be assumed during the course of the trip?
No, how many
Ah,
actual people? This started off on the wrong foot.
I see.
This gentleman presented himself as two different people. If we were to take two people into our care, but it was only one person, it would be a piece of information that we should know before we start this engagement.
Of course.
I would be happy to answer. You watch as the skin starts to blue. And the height changes. Roshan's real short. Goes up close to another. I'm trying to think of heights. Goes up over a foot taller than they are currently. Rising upwards. It does not look like the uproar, but it is like a somewhat tall feminine woman with blue skin. So there is one physical body here that is being escorted. And that's
Understood. And all of your goods.
mostly the goods. The goods are most important.
More
And,
important than your life?
Of course.
So, in the unlikely event of your death, what should we do with these things?
So let's talk the job. And if you accept the job, I will tell you the necessary information.
Well, then tell us more about the job.
All right. And the body shifts back into ink, moving down a few inches from the height of the blue woman. Right. Let me see. I am slightly offended, and I'm working through that, you know? So I think a good amount for about a week's travel in a direction you're basically going anyways. 200 gold.
What do you expect to see in that direction that you are looking for mercenaries to protect you from?
Recently, and I could just be being nervous for no reason, but I feel like my cart is being staked out. I
By
feel like
whom?
somebody is scoping the cart for a hit of some sort.
By whom do you think?
I'm assuming smart bandits, because dumb bandits just get crushed by, and like points to Odin and Tyr.
What have you seen? What has given you cause to believe that you have people with intent trying to figure out your business operation here?
I wish I could make it sound more persuasive, but
I only want
It's-
to know like what signs you've seen.
it's just the occasional look in someone's eye. People who come to see the museum, the way they look at things, and I feel like they aren't looking per se at the art piece or listening to Chelsea, but I feel like their
Looking
eyes
out.
wander a bit.
Do any of them fit this description? And Roshan will give the description of Eitri.
I would have to say, if that was the person I saw, I would feel vaguely justified in assuming that I am going to be stolen from. I haven't seen anybody untoward. Occasionally I will pass by somebody who looks a bit shady, but I think it is somewhat well known that it is not easy to hit the museum.
During and Nana gestures to the two giant
Because
statues.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mostly because of the statues.
that makes sense.
I had a question.
Hmm.
If someone were to break our perimeter and somehow snatch an item from the cart and then abscond with it, run off, and the giants would activate, no? And then we were to chase that person down and take the item back. How would the giants know that we were helping and not smash us immediately?
It's a very
I will give
pertinent
you
question.
a piece of information, and it will make you feel not better and slightly better. I think you all are probably maybe a little faster than them if you have a bit of a head start, you know?
Yeah, but that's my concern, is that we'd tried to bring the item back to you and be confronted with two angry stone golems wanting to smash us in because we hold the thing that we're not supposed to touch.
It's very likely that you will get smashed unless you all are within eyesight. So if we're all running in a direction, I will do my best to also run in a direction.
All right. Very good.
But if I'm not able to see them, they run on autopilot.
If you die, though, do they still kill us?
They will attack whoever they think has killed me, and it's pretty sound magics on that. But if that were to happen and I were to fall, and it was not any of you, you could more than likely continue forward with the cart and take it to its next place where it could be taken care of.
And
I don't
where
plan to die, and it's a lot. But
and where is your final destination?
my final destination is Nuaten, the port.
We are indeed heading that direction. I'll have to find in my notes what's there.
Impressively flipping. So that's where I'd like to be escorted to, and if you're going there, even better. And basically, I've just given you 200 gold to ride at my pace.
And we'll be staying on road this entire time. We're not going to need to set down planks or anything to take your carts off road.
Oh, the poor girl couldn't handle it. Looks over at it. I would hope we were on the road the whole time.
Just making sure we know what we're being paid to do. That's all.
Yeah, there should not be manual labor, and if there is any labor, it is of the threatening kind or the removing of hostiles kind.
Which would be what you would be paying us for.
And do Tyr and Odin themselves propel your cart forward?
No, honestly, they're half the reason the cart moves so slow. The beast does its best. It's just like a huge fucking oxen at the front. Does its damnedest, but big statues, 2 carts. We don't move super fast.
We've only got 1 horse, but he's a thickie.
I can see. It just looks for
The thickest biscuit this side of the hammer.
So, would you all be interested?
Roshan will give us 1 second and then turn to the rest of the party and do a nice little secret huddle.
Secret huddle.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any hesitations?
I would like to get an assessment of how likely he thinks a threat is to his belongings. I don't want to kill anyone if we don't have to.
If we don't have to, of course, but it sounds as though if he thought that he could handle this threat with just Odin and Tyr over there, he would not be looking for outside help. I think he anticipates something more subtle or more tenacious than those 2 might be able to handle.
We're going that direction anyhow, and I think we might as well help him arrive at his destination safely, but at the same time, I'd rather not kill anyone if we don't have to.
Would definitely be my preference as well. It seems like that's probable with him as well.
I can count precisely 2.5 people in this world who I want to see dead, and that's it. I think we've done enough murdering along the way, and
that's a little more between friends.
Well,
Anyhow,
Uh,
Roshan, thank you for brokering this for us. The gold could be put to good use, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So we'll just give a little Muppet nod to the group, and then turn around and reach out a hand to shake Ink's hand.
All right. 200 gold upon completion, as long as nothing is stolen. If something is
Right.
stolen, the deal is off. Is that fine?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Perfect. And clasps your hand.
If we can get the item back to you without being smashed, we can reinstate.
Well, of course. It's just if I lose something, it will be worth more than 200 gold to me, sadly.
That's understandable then.
Perfect. I will also inform you there are more than the visible items here. I usually just pick and choose a few things that I think will work for groups I see approaching. This is one of my more adult offerings. For the kids, you usually pick something a little more fun, not the points at like the tree splitting. You don't pick that for the children.
Do you have any more adult items?
There is one that I think is very cool. Let me show you. And he goes over and opens like a drawer and pulls out a silver diadem and kind of presents the little tiara. So this right here smiles and tries to angle it so it catches the sun a little bit. So this is the diadem of communing. It is a way for someone to make intimate spiritual contact with their god and or goddess. And you hear the patter of little feet and the sound of someone jumping. Tordrick runs over, jumps up, and slams his head into the tiara and then collapses to the ground. And Ink is standing there, no longer the crown in hand, just staring at Tordrick. And to do this, you go into a coma.
For how long?
And you watch him look nervously over at the statues, and he's like, okay. They have not moved.
Well,
I mean, obviously
Tordrick.
he's not going anywhere.
They're just both like, he's good. Nah, leave.
Nah, he's sleeping.
So the thing is, it is not up to any of us or any other elements that we can surmise. It is up to the wearer and the person they are communing with. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 5 months. But that was just the longest recorded one, and that was a very long time ago. But if you
The gods
try
aren't
to
nearly as long-winded anymore.
That
But
is
Tordrick
true.
has 9 gods to fondle through.
Ooh, we might.
Yeah.
Oh no. And the
A
thing is, if you try
fortnight
to
at
remove
least.
it by force, you could irreparably damage the host.
Ah, of course.
So we're not
Obviously.
doing that.
Oh, Tordrick.
Why it's more one of the adult things, the children sometimes try to touch stuff.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you. I was asking more about scandalous items, but that I guess is pretty scandalous. Now we are
Museum carries smut, is that the question?
I don't know if you're carrying around Odin's
10%
stone
we have
phallus.
smut, but
Where's Thor's cock ring?
one moment.
He needs it for his hammer.
So first, I only take out the interesting items you are speaking of, usually more as an in-town type of thing and a night show.
Of course, of course.
So if you attend one of those, I'm sure you will see something akin to Thor's cock ring. I'm sure that's something similar. He has to stay on my cart, and points to Tordrick.
Thumbs up.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's fair. We don't want him being removed from the perimeter and
I'll carry him
getting
to like
smashed.
a bed or whatever Ink has for him.
Yeah, there's probably somewhere to put him in there.
Yeah, a little bedroll,
So, like,
keep him all
yeah,
snug.
I'll lay out a bedroll for him in the middle of the vault.
Well, I hope
and
he
put a
has
little beer flask next to
a
him.
wonderful time wherever he is.
I do too.
Oh boy.
So, should I pack up?
If you'd like to get on the road, we would appreciate it.
All right then.
Certainly.
One moment. And it is an organized clockwork of like picking things up and setting them either against the walls that have moved outwards or putting them into drawers. Some things are attached to the walls and it all just folds in nicely and returns to looking like two very just kind of fancy carts. Boys, and you watch Tyr and Odin the lurch into existence and slowly meander onto their places on the carts. There we go.
Oh, they don't walk
Um,
alongside. They sit on.
Oh, we would go so slow. Like, look at them. They're still going. Like, just walking to the other side of the cart. And it's just a crawl.
Oh God. I can definitely appreciate why you would need them to be mobile. Have
That's
you
why
considered
I was
trying
hoping
putting
you all
wheels
would-
on the feet?
I was thinking that.
Those would have to be some sturdy wheels, but maybe I'll talk to somebody about that.
There's some sturdy metals out there.
So I am not a mercenary. I don't you all say you aren't either, but however you want to do this works for me. If you want to ride your cart in front, if some of you wanted to walk behind, I don't know. But I am going to get the cart rolling.
Go ahead.
Fen, do you think we should take the lead, keep an eye out, or shall we follow?
I'll why don't we follow with our cart and I'll walk ahead. If anyone wants to accompany me, that's fine, and see what lays down the road. If we can avoid getting the cart into trouble, then all the better. Head off any interference with our most perceptive members at the front and someone watching from behind to make sure we're not being followed, is my thought.
I'll stay on the cart and keep Chelsea company.
Very well.
I suppose I will drive our cart. Well, can somebody else drive? I want to read.
Oh,
I would be able to.
And
Great.
Roshan, it's hard to read during the day. It seems very difficult to read the book during the day.
Okay, fine. Maybe I'll just walk alongside and talk to
Be
Ink.
perceptive, I guess.
I could
I can't-
perceive something.
I'll look and help for the job I'm being paid for, I guess.
I suppose.
Yes.
no reading on the job.
Yeah, eyes open.
Yeah,
Um,
Rude.
and the cart begins to roll to life, and you are now moving closer to a slow pace compared to the normal pace.
All right, and to be clear, I'm pretty far out ahead of this thing. Defend will
How
be
far?
walking 90 feet ahead of the cart. So
Are you still trying to keep it like at least?
yeah, it's in sight. I mean,
Okay.
if we hit a bend or something, I'll wait up to make sure I can still see the cart. But like,
Okay.
I want to see things well before they see, or they may see us, but well before they can interact with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Go on with
so-
your elf eyes.
It worked better,
So,
but
so up ahead 90 feet is Fen. In the cart behind, who's in y'all's cart with Thick Biscuit?
Me
Roshan.
and Drive.
Roshan and Nana. And then Tordrecht and Gorbjorn are on Ink's cart. All right. And the grueling pace begins. As you have to convince Thick Biscuit that, man, just
Slow
take it
down.
easy.
Like, just
Relax.
relax for a while, bud. It's okay. Nana will,
Like, I got
will
places to
feed
be
him,
and just,
Nana will feed him some dried apple slices. Dried appy slices.
just looks like they'd prefer to be going a little faster, but
yeah, I know.
they'll survive. They're a horse.
Not-
It's not like
yeah.
you're making them go faster than they want to go.
True.
But you all begin to push forward. Ink looks over at Gorbjorn, then shrugs, and then you're sitting next to Chelsea. So,
God damn it.
here's my question.
Oh my God.
From what I'm seeing, you are putting on, I think, a very good persona, in my humble opinion. I think you exude the energy necessary, and I think you wear some of the items necessary to present this. But if you're trying to, let's say, integrate with this personality, you may need some more essentials.
Like what?
Well, flips a page in their book.
Mhm.
Where does anything go? Doesn't matter. That's fine. I've lost everything. That's okay.
That's cool.
Sorry, guys. The whole book's gone. It's all
Bye.
left. It's really a shame.
Terrible. So sad.
What you need is proof, which falls to paperwork, lineage, sigils, crests, things of those nature. If you present somebody with a document that says you are who you are, 95% of the time, people are not going to read that long ass document. I can tell you that much. And if you have a ring with a sigil on it, and that sigil is also on your paperwork, you're in. And
Oh man.
I would love to see you succeed.
I did get a calligrapher.
Holy shit! Use it! Use it!
If you want, we could start working on perhaps a family crest.
Oh yeah.
You
Totally.
need wolves.
Oh yeah. Of course, it was gonna be a wolf head. Like,
Yeah.
It's always
You
it's
need
gonna
at
be.
least 3 and a moon.
oh, I get the shirt you're talking about. The moon shirt.
3 wolf moon.
Yeah.
Ow, ow,
All right. Yeah,
Anyway.
that will be my crest. Let's go with that.
Glad to hear you're interested. I was a chief for a week once. Never again. And begins to help you kind of get the idea of what you should be doing, and you begin to sketch and design a crest for the noble house of Prince Gorbjorn.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Any
As you
roll
all move
necessary?
forward.
Any roll necessary?
I'll give you advantage because Ink knows what they're doing. This can either be a performance check or hate to do it to him.
He's
Might
got
just have
prof-
to be a flat intelligence check, but
Let's
you have
just-
advantage for whichever you wish.
Let's just go flat intelligence check.
Okay.
He's
Would
got
this be your
proficiency in
worst skill?
cartographer's tools. That's drawing.
No,
sort of.
I don't have proficiency
He
in
doesn't.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
that. I just like maps.
He just has map.
Fuck, that was an 11.
Damn.
Like a crappy kid drawing of the three. Well,
Ink looks over. Honestly, looking pretty good. I could show you a couple examples of mine just for inspiration. And you are well on your way. You have plenty of time with Ink. So it seems like you're heading in the right direction to get this going.
I'm going to like just spend my time just tracing some drawings to like practice.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
You
I
gotta
put these
learn the
under there.
shapes.
I don't use these ones anymore, so you may do as you please.
Like getting like the crest symbol all special and freaking.
Yes, Fen.
Can I retcon before we have started traveling that if I send Jenny back to Gorbjorn, that Gorbjorn knows that that's to stop the cart and to send Nana up to me?
I think that can be stated.
Okay,
A
yeah.
little game of telephone.
Yeah.
If Jenny do come back, replace with Nana. All right, let me draw a bird so I remember that.
Tweet.
Exactly.
Is there any
Yeah, he's gonna send us a tweet.
basically, is there anything you guys would like to do on your first day of travel?
Well, Nana does kind of want to follow up with Roshan on account of them having what seemed to be like, yes, a slightly intense conversation, but not necessarily a bad one. And then the next morning, he's got just the biggest, longest face on.
He's
And you
not
guys are-
sad. He's grumpy.
Angry.
Dude looks mad, and you guys are on a cart alone together. So
We sure are. And, like nobody else is paying attention, so.
really not.
He-
There
he-
are talks of crests in front of you, and Fen is like a dot in the distance. He's
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, no, we good. So, not much luck with the journal the other night?
Still haven't made it all the way through. The more I read, the less I like.
In what way? What have you found?
Ave sure liked to keep secrets from everyone. Apparently, he did more than just talk with Rose before she left, but I don't know more than that.
More than talk with her. How do you mean? Were you able to glean anything about what he might have said?
No, just that she might be here gathering information for him, but I don't understand the timeline enough yet to understand what she's doing here.
A DM question. How many years is it since Rose left?
It's
So we're
close
good for 2
to,
years?
yeah, a little over 2 years now.
Little over 2? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, probably heading hot on 3 at the moment, I think.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Yeah,
It
after
depends.
as long as we've been traveling together.
Yeah, I
Well,
was
it's
going
that
to say
time.
at least 2.5.
yeah, we'll say and a half.
Okay, that's fair. No, I don't. 2.5 years ago. He was already working on this, not long ago. And before.
I something akin to this. Like I said, I don't know what he eventually ended up sending her to do. There's a name that keeps coming up, the Kiln. Somebody who Ave had a begrudging respect for, because would treat him like an enemy, though he wouldn't treat them that way. And from what I've heard from people over here, I don't think she made it that far east. At least I don't know if she did. The last I heard, she was in Noaten, and I don't know. I think the kiln is in Skull City, so I don't know if they ever met.
This, the kiln, what sort of figure are they meant to be? Are they a community leader? Are they someone with powerful magic?
I think they are someone with powerful magic. And they don't like to share it very, very much. It did cross my mind that maybe it could be Mikkel, but I have no proof that.
Well, not for nothing, but when you described the kiln as someone whom Ave had a begrudging respect for, and who regarded him as an enemy, but whom he would not treat as such. First person I thought of.
I'll just have to keep on it and learn more.
I wish I could help you shoulder that, but do what you can. Don't harm yourself doing it, but do what you can.
If it were easier to read on a cart, and there's not a word made up for motion sickness yet, but I'll make it up in Norse language, and
Wibbly
give me that.
cartness.
yep.
It's,
But when we stop for the evening, I will certainly keep on reading.
All right. Well, so long as we're occupied sitting in one place and you can't read, is there anything that I can do to help? Anything that you want to sound ideas off of me for? Anything that you've been trying to wrap your head around? If nothing else, I could just be a sounding board.
I don't think so. The only thing I can think about is what's written in the journal, and I'd love to just sit down and read more, but can't right now.
Yeah, I understand. Well, if all else fails, we could always sing some songs from back home.
Sure. You start.
All right.
and they begin to sing in the cart.
They sure do. Nana's not gonna make up one on the fly. I'm not.
No,
gonna
I
make up
would
one
not
on the
ask
fly.
that of anyone.
Okay.
I will not ask that of me, and I will not ask it of you.
It is an old Gulunder favorite about.
Little boy. And she was
A
burned
farm
3
animal.
times and stabbed 3 times. You know, it's like a good
It's,
camp
it's
song.
what all the kids sing at,
A campfire
vacation,
song, yeah.
Yeah.
vacation rune book school. Sorry.
I don't like it. God damn it. Okay. You guys continue forward for the rest of the day at this slow pace. You think that you may hit a town by late tomorrow at this pace. So if possible, you might get to sleep in an inn. The next town over is called Between.
So do we also have a betwixt coming up on the map, or is it just between?
There's only one way to find out. Is wait for you to get close and then I tell you its name.
Damn.
Or
Fine.
we do have a map maker in our midst.
Just
Corvior?
casually write it in.
Yeah,
It's
we just make our
canon.
own town.
Yeah.
They're like, and it's right here. This is betwixt, and I'm like, I gotta burn it to the ground. I can't have this
We'll
much
make
power.
our own town.
The only
with
thing there is a
blackjack and
talking
hookers.
statue of Gorbjorn.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
Wow.
talking shit
Oh,
about
I'm
him all
going
day
to start
long.
making a map to my statue. Yeah.
This is
Nice.
where my statue is, and where my tree sun is, and
I imagine him describing all of this to Tordrek's comatose body.
Oh yeah, that's so normal.
it's like bouncing like as the cart moves, just unconscious. You all eventually have to find a place to stop for the night,
Uh-huh.
uh, but it will be out in the wilderness today.
Can I weekend at Bernie's Tordrick, like in
Oh my
places?
fucking god!
I will not stop you. There's nothing in me that will stop
I
you.
will not let you.
Well, like I was just these
You're
small
90
things.
feet ahead. Too
Yeah.
I thought we were stopping for the night.
No, but like around the campfire, I would just sit them there,
Yeah.
like with like a cup in hand to keep them up.
You just
Gorbjorn, are
Sorry,
you
dude, like-
practicing puppetry with
um,
Tordrek?
I think you can
performance
still
for
hear
me,
us. What?
roll performance for me real quick for your weekend at Bernie's moment.
That is an 8.
Perfect. Take that as you will.
Oh no, 7. Sorry, I didn't have a negative one.
Ah!
Take that one as you will. That's
Lucky
how good you
number
are at
7.
this. Ink
Lucky
seems
number
like
7.
all right, like thoroughly entertained. Has been in Chelsea for a good bit of this first day.
Just enjoying the vibe.
Sorry, but she's got me
No.
working on me. Like this is the most like. Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I want to hear.
I do too.
This has been the second most supportive female interaction with Gorbjorn.
Wow.
Oh, third, sorry. Forgot Agnet. And oh fuck.
We all
fuck,
How
Don't
it's-
quickly we
Agnet.
forget.
I forgot his sister.
So many women in Gorbjorn's life, and he's like, I only can think about 2 women at a time.
Right. Yeah, I was like his mom. Oh wait, no, his sister.
I only can do
oh, wait,
2
no,
at a
his
time.
favorite. Oh wait, no. I'm like,
Donna doesn't get to be a supportive figure in his life because
no, because
Keep
I'm the one
stealing
supporting
things.
you.
that's
Yeah.
also true.
It's your emotional support orc. Like that's just how it is.
That's fair. Nana needs one.
Chelsea loves the whole weekend at Bernie's thing and is having a blast. Watching and just like,
Please don't drown him, at least.
With a 7, he definitely puts like a horn of beer in his hand and it tips over and spills on his crotch.
Oh, I wouldn't have filled it, but now I did, I guess.
Yeah.
empty, just kind of
with
like
a
bonks
7.
him in the chin a little hard.
It's like,
I like try to
He's just
feed
got
him
it
because
all.
I don't want him to like yeah. So I just like
Aw.
pour beer on his face. And I'm like, I'm sure he got something.
I don't want him to
Yeah.
dehydrate. Pouring
we
beer
gotta
into his
keep
face.
some of the alcohol in his system. He needs that.
He can't go through withdrawal. Not here.
Oh gosh.
Not on our
Not
watch.
now. Actually,
keep
this would
him
probably be the
alive.
best time to do that while you are in the void.
Roshan did
but-
it while unconscious. Highly recommend.
Roshan's like, yeah, 10 out of 10. That's the time.
Yeah, sleep it
Um,
off. It's fine.
So, any good gossip from the road? Ink looks over the group. Anything interesting?
I think you're the most interesting thing here.
Honestly,
I've-
I've never met anyone quite like you, so that's a fair statement. It's been a fairly uneventful ride so far.
Well, first off,
At
I'll
that
say
point,
you
at this
have-
point, I'm going to turn myself into Nana with disguised self and be like, I've never met anyone just like you either.
See, and here's the fun part. And he reaches over and takes Nana's hand,
Mm-hmm.
and turns into Fen, and like physically puts your hand like on the elf ear.
Oh.
I had a
Whoa.
weird dream like this.
I bet you did, buddy.
I
How did that
Anyways.
dream end?
A lot less clothes.
Mm.
Gorbjorn's had hot dreams about the whole party. We just haven't talked about it. He's like, it never
Oh
came up.
God. Like it was survival or like get really uncomfortable with people on the mountain. Like in the valley. Like it was just like this is not the place. I need to survive. All the energy is just going to walk and not groping.
The mind she do wander.
True.
Well, I am flattered, and turns back into ink. I am pretty interesting, and I can say that you have probably met somebody like me before, but they weren't as open about it. A lot of people keep it on the down low.
Are there many folk like you?
There aren't a lot, but there's enough.
Were
I
your
don't really-
parents of the same persuasion?
Oh, yes. I'm not first generation from the tower or whatever.
From the tower, what does that mean?
Well, it's supposed to be the legend of changelings is that we were born of the leg bone.
Have you ever been there?
I have. I didn't go inside because I'm not stupid.
Oh, that was the baby Loki talked about. Right?
She just narrows eyes slightly. Huh?
we saw Loki have a baby. Or was that a baby joke?
Honestly, it was very unclear. We went inside the leg and there was someone there.
1 out of 5 stars. Would not recommend.
It was very confusing and honestly very disturbing.
I won't ask. But I'm sure you will eventually tell me. And I will wait for that moment.
We actually do have a very interesting relic. Perhaps Gorbjorn, maybe you would like to share.
Which one?
The fucking
leg.
Oh yeah! I take out my favorite trophy, and
oh my fucking god.
as I pull it out, I do that like whistle, like, and then just reveal this nice leg, and it's just like
leg.
I took this.
He did.
It's very nice.
It's my headcanon that Roshan minor illusioned trumpets as Gorbjorn pulled it out like "Da-da-da-da."
Amazing.
What is give me the tour of what this leg is and why it is so nice.
He
that you
starts
think
just, like,
you wanted to show me.
uncontrollably laughing, and it's like it,
Oh
it was Loki's leg.
Oh my fucking god. Yep.
It was Loki's leg. It was.
So is it a very old leg or a very
Well, not as old
recent-
as the lighthouse.
From
They
a
didn't need it
beaten
until
bloody
then.
god.
Have you heard of a pair of famous elven carvers, spouses?
Is it weird to say that there's a lot of those?
Well, in fairness, probably not.
But I perchance see the leg.
See with your eyes.
May I hold the leg?
As long as
Okay,
it doesn't
leg.
become part of your collection by taking it.
No, people have to either willingly give me the things or I have to buy them, which is not my favorite, but is something I do occasionally. This is beautiful. there's a lot of blood kind of sunken into the top part of it, like just into the wood a bit.
Yeah, that was his own fault.
He's a wily one.
Weird how I have no questions.
Seems like you'd have a lot of questions.
I feel like if I ask a question, it just leads to more questions, and I'm just gonna go off of speculation on this one, I think.
And of course, we'll be traveling for at least a few more days yet, and if a question comes to you, perhaps at
course.
some point along the way,
And
We'll
if
be here.
you ever feel like donating something to the museum, you're welcome to present it to me, and I will write your name down on the little slab that I have for donators.
Wow.
ooh,
An honor.
Some think so.
Who would we recognize any of your other donors?
Probably the ones you would recognize have asked for different names.
Hmm. Has the kiln ever donated anything?
The way you're asking, it doesn't sound like it's an object. I don't have anybody by the name Kiln on my slab.
Ah, unfortunately.
Any organ
I'm
donators?
Sorry I couldn't help. Feel like I should share my own gossip then.
You have gossip?
First off, always. Second off, when you travel the road this much, you hear a lot of things, and this is the highbrow gossip. I'll give you some highbrow gossip. The Jarl, Ivan Frey, there is gossip that he is either deceased or incredibly ill or has fled, because it seems that he is not signing off on these orders, but his second is. So all of the recent choices in regards to going and chopping down the trees and what have you, and needing more Jarlsmen, was not signed off by Jarl Frey.
how very strange.
But
So,
gossip.
Of course.
It's the best one
So-
I have.
Very interesting, especially if true. Even if only partly true.
I agree. I think it's strange that they would not inform the people of his passing, but if they feel like that will make them look weak, I'm not sure. I can't find the reasoning behind it, why they would want to do that. Yes?
out of character, do we know where this Jarl Frey's seat is? Like, what city or town?
Capital, whatever.
Yeah,
I
What's
because
the
there's three
capital of the
Jarls in the
East?
east, right?
Yes. This one is much more north. If like when you were leaving the bridge and kept going east instead of going south, you would have hit the capital. And that's where he
Okay.
is. So he's pretty far north.
Okay. So we would know that. We
Um,
don't need to ask. But okay.
Yeah, no, you would be able to figure that out. And I'm pretty sure I said it 10,000 years ago. So it's information you would have. 1,000,000 years ago. Well, once again, thank you all for doing this. Hopefully it's uneventful and basically a waste of my money.
Hopefully.
so. But on the off chance that your investment does pay off, we will do all in our power to keep you and your belongings safe.
Appreciated. I think I'm gonna go lay down.
More than equitable. Get some good rest.
At the same time, Roshan will put up his bubble and start reading.
Fair.
And time to read.
It's
Bloop.
bedtime.
It's bedtime, Beaches.
The man said it's bedtime. Pulls out books.
Yep.
Anybody who's gonna go to bed, get in the bubble.
You watch as Ink climbs into the cart and kind of like it's almost like his own little compartment that he like climbs into, and then like the door closes. It just has a lot of doors and drawers on it,
That's amazing.
and just snaps closed.
Before he leaves, does he like leave a wink at all, or no?
Is what?
Does he what?
Does he wink at Gorbjorn at all, or no?
Let me see.
Let's find out.
Roll for frisky.
Yeah.
Gorbjorn, eyes wide, just watching. She's like,
Roll for flirt.
Please, please.
Please?
You said after work.
after work. Ink walks by and then like glances over. I want to wait till I can see that crest. And smiles and then goes into the compartment alone.
Gotcha.
Teasing. I love it.
Gorbjorn's like, I have to do homework.
God damn it.
Never did anything for anybody. No, I'm joking.
But is he
Worked
going
so
to?
hard for this.
No, of course he's going to
Oh, hell yeah.
work on his crest.
Seems like he wants it anyway.
Mhm.
I'm excited for him.
Me too.
If there is nothing else, I would love to know the order of operations for watch tonight. Roshan, constant is the assumption, but not exactly watching, unless
Yeah,
you would have to like stop reading and watch.
he's not gonna do that.
So
That's fair.
Roshan, not watching, but always present.
Yes.
So Fen would like to take the first and third watch this time, so he doesn't wake up with snow dumped on him.
Thank you.
But the thing that he wants to do on the first watch, and he'll tell whoever spells him on the second watch, is he's going to take some portion of his rations, like jerky or something like that, and towards the road away from the camp. He's going to bury very shallowly some of the rations and kind of like sprinkle some around. So if dogs come by, that they will be distracted by the rations, and at least we'll have some notice. Whoever's watching will see the dogs digging up the rations before the dogs alert the people, hoping that whoever, before they see the
for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just picture this dog running full fucking speed, murder in the eyes, and it's like, but hold on.
I smell jerky.
Oh, fuck on.
Is that
Well,
Pagan?
It's
I
not
assume the dogs
easy.
wouldn't. I assume the dogs wouldn't attack until told to. They're a detection thing.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Like,
they are only for finding. They are hound dogs. They will attack unless given the order. Yeah.
well,
Unless
who
there's
knows?
some of those real spicy dogs that just live in the wilderness. But
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. They
Spicy wild
wilderness dogs
dogs.
have different
We're not-
opinions.
Are we talking
They-
about my boys at home? The things are just like ill.
The good boys.
I'm just like, no, don't go near that way.
No. We're not anywhere close to home.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're still way across the
you guys
hammer.
are very far away.
I know. I'm just missing them.
Me too.
I miss the wolves. So
I-
Nana and Gorbjorn,
Yeah.
second watch, either of you, both of you?
Sure. Yeah. Assuming Fen doesn't need company on the first or third watches.
I'll sleep because I feel like Nana and Ro would be very interested in what's going on in the diary.
You're just like, I'll let y'all do that nerd talk.
I'm gonna sleep.
All right. Ben, give me a perception check.
18.
Keep an eye out, an ear out. There is a point during your shift that you can hear like kind of the muffled clack of hooves. And you look over and it looks like one of the like single rider like mail delivery men is riding through the night past y'all.
Okay.
Godspeed.
Takes like half a glance over in the cart's direction, and then carries on without issue. That is the extent of your watch, which is handed over to Nana. Nana, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Yeah. I ain't see shit at night.
Ah, I'm blind. Staring into the abyss.
Good. I mean, I can listen and smell, I
Yes.
suppose, but that is a 13.
Okay.
Not the worst. Given disadvantage.
Yeah, that's not terrible. You listen. Roshan was up when you got up and is currently reading.
Does he seem intent? Does he seem stressed? Does he seem chill?
I will tell you about that in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes after
We are
our
going to take
break.
a 10-minute break. Go get a snack and a drink. And we'll be right back, and maybe we'll learn about some more information in that journal. See you guys in 10.
Thank you, Tad.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 83 of On the Backs of God. I can't remember the number. My pencil was on top of it. Anywho, we just took our 10-minute break. The group is now traveling with Ink, who owns himself a nice traveling museum, and they have been hired as mercenaries to escort the museum across the coast. And so far, no problems. But
So
we're
far,
on
so
the
good.
first half a days.
Yeah. We'll see how
So-
things go from here.
But currently, pretty good. You've done it. We are on to the second watch, which is Nana and Roshan. I hate to do it to you because I also used it as like the grabber right before break, but Roshan, you're not going to have anything worth discussing until the end of the night.
Okay.
So if Nana is like, "What's up?" You're like,
Nothing
"I'm
new.
making a code make sense." I'm
Mm,
decoding.
That's fair. That's fair.
If there's anything else you guys want to do, that's fine. But Nana is currently keeping an eye out. You don't
Mhm.
see or hear anything.
Mm.
You guys
Okay.
good?
I'm good.
I would just like to maybe use one of my ranger ability things just to be like careful,
Sure.
as one may possibly be able to do. Who knows? Let me see. Mm. I suppose, can I... Frick. I would like to try to make up my mind, I suppose. It's fine. We'll call it good. Nana's just gonna keep an eye out.
Okay. And the watch goes by uneventful. And Fenn's up again.
Hey!
Here we go again, boys.
Back at it again.
Give me another perception check if you'd be so kind, Fenn.
That's a 22 this time.
Ooh.
The sound of snow. Looking out, you can see pretty damn far. And the night passes without a hitch. There's no problems to be spoken of.
I'm gonna use my
only-
use my internal clock to like 10 minutes before like it's supposed to like be the end of 8 hours or
Mhm.
12 hours or whatever. I'm gonna run back and try and brush the snow off the top of the dome.
You just like you have to kind of just like spike it off. You have to like run and jump or get you made a rake. You have a rake.
Yeah, no,
You
I
have
left
a
the I
rake.
left
I
the
was
rake.
gonna say you can go take Tordrick's ring of jumping if you need it.
That is true.
I'm not stealing from Tordrick while he's comatose.
I'll borrow
Suit
this.
yourself.
Yeah, all
Ah.
right.
All the rest of his stuff's
All
already gone.
right.
Yeah, I took third shift.
Okay.
I don't need to suit myself. I'm trying to help you guys.
Honestly, easy enough to get a lot of the snow. Some of it will fall in, but you get like the chunk of it that has been the alarm in the morning.
So is it a
And
luck
the-
check to see which of us it falls on?
It certainly fucking is now. I was going to let you all survive, but not today. One,
Nah,
two,
not today. There's gotta be, if there's a little snow on the bubble, it's gotta fall on somebody.
and it falls directly on Nana as karma insists upon.
Yep.
I was just like 1, 2, 3 rolls a 2 up. Nana.
Yep. That's fine.
well.
I understand.
Oof.
Oh. Oh.
I tried.
It's
I
fine,
did my
it's fine.
best.
Oh, I hate waking up like that. It's fine. Ugh.
Before you all get too awake, let's talk about this journal.
Journal
Hmm.
time.
Journal time. Journal time.
Rashawn, I'd like to know how you feel going into the next part of this journal after where you stopped last time. Is there any hesitation, or is it more like I need to move faster? Like,
Oh, it's
what is the-
definitely needs to move faster.
Mhm.
This is the first he's heard about his sister concretely, other than like coming over here. But this is in the words of his father figure, and so I think he probably has to stop a couple times because he gets frustrated easily, because sometimes your dad is a jerk and your sister is a liar, but he'll still read as
Sometimes you're
fast as he
bitter.
can. Sometimes you're a bitter twin. That's fine.
And it's valid. All right. You were able to get through with this determination, even though it makes you flustered and kind of you have to stop occasionally just to calm yourself back down. But you get through a good portion of the journal. Ahem. This all seems to be continuing in the fashion more of a diary-esque situation, and not like the first section that seemed very much like pieces and bits of information. I told Rose everything. She sat still and listened to everything I had to say for possibly the first time ever. It was as if a weight was lifted off of my chest. Someone I could talk to in person that was irreplaceable. She asked questions, some answers I thought would scare her, but she didn't waver. Not even when I explained their purpose. Rose and Roshan were always meant to be part of this. I just thought I could wait longer, keep them safe another day. I forget they aren't children. Rose said she would investigate the kiln. She even offered to swing by the Kivik library on the way. I couldn't say no. Being given such, in her words, undeniably worthy purpose emboldened her. She could see her own potential for the first time. The conversation turned to Roshan. I asked for her input. She waited a long moment and then stated plainly he's not ready. Before she left, Rose gave Roshan a letter, but wouldn't tell me what it said. It will motivate him to follow one day. We'll see if she's right. You move on to a new section. The cultists on the coast were short-sighted. What they were going to do with them was barbaric, selfish. I'm glad I turned Trigvi away when he came for them years ago. He said, "A man such as yourself understands power, and if that power is harvested," and there's like a pause, harvested, the way the man spoke of his own children. Trigvi left after I bloodied his nose. I was more passionate then, easy to anger, but I don't regret what I did. The twins are not a tool, a thing to be harvested. As a father, I want to see them flourish. I want them to find their true potential, not feed someone else's. That's what you learned this night.
Love that.
Mhm.
Great to hear your biological dad wants to harvest you, but got turned away by your kind of dad
And
who
your sister.
didn't want you to get harvested. So,
I mean, if you got to pick one.
so it's real nice. I think he wakes up, or well, doesn't wake up. He appears the next
Dawn.
morning. a bit more contemplative, less angry.
Okay.
He got his angries out in the middle of the night after the first part.
Uh-huh.
Probably did a little silence bubble and went.
I'm gonna go take a walk, just screaming in the distance. Anywho,
I think Nana will pick up on that, but we'll probably leave questions until we're on the cart. It's just
And-
Roshan and her, and everybody else is
both on the
kinda
cart,
keeping
it's
eyes on their other
inevitable
stuff.
unless the positions change. But Fen runs ahead.
I would assume.
Gorbjorn continues his learnings. Tordrek is unconscious, and the two of you are back on the cart again.
On the cart again?
Just can't wait to be on the card again.
Exactly. So, you seemed in better spirits this morning, Roshan. Marginally, at least. Anything better? More clear?
More questions than answers last
Hmm.
night.
Again?
Yeah.
Mm.
But this time I don't feel like there were any answers. It was just he told Rose everything and she didn't think I was ready to hear, so
This was just before she disappeared then.
at some point before she disappeared. Avi's not very good at dating things.
Hmm.
Not a
So
single date on this journal. There are no
God damn
dates.
it. Way to be a dick, Ave.
I'm gonna date my spooky journal.
That I tell people to burn after I
6 months
die.
ago, I plotted to do blood magic. Like, no, you didn't do that.
on January 26th, I did blood magic for the 34th time.
Oh my god.
And I will document it right here.
Roshan's going to document the times that he's done blood magic on just a blank page, and he's going to date them.
Just to stick it to Dad.
Date written out. The 2 times blood magic has occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe a little emoji of a middle finger.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Suck it, Dad.
Roshan invented emojis.
and one of those stussy symbols. Because he's an angry teen now.
Oh yeah.
He's reverting. He's
Oh
reverting.
god. Oh no, we have to get him back with Eagle fast.
Or just get a night alone in an inn at this point. Maybe in
That's
between.
It's a valid point.
In
It's a valid
between.
point. That's probably going to need to happen at some point or another. Anyhow. Well, it seems to me like the more you read, if nothing else, the more questions we'll have to ask when we go out and about. If not of anyone else, then at least of ourselves. Hopefully we can divine our own answers that way.
You're right. I just makes me not want to spend time keeping pace with ink, and I'd love to just get to Noaten, but
I know.
we're still at this pace probably a week out.
Likely. And
Probably
the
more.
slower pace is not ideal for me either. If it were possible to get those 2 things moving any faster, I'd very much prefer it, particularly through these stretches close to the woods, but for the time being, 200 gold is rather good incentive.
Speaking of, I found quite a handful of gold in my own pocket the other day.
I found some platinum. I had no idea. I swear to you, I had 4 copper pieces in my pocket. That was all I had left. Woke up 3 days ago. them.
Do you still have the copper pieces?
I do, strangely enough. So obviously they didn't change form.
Roshan will shout ahead to the cart in front of him and say, Gorbjorn, you wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Like, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that and work on my little drawing.
Ooh, crest work.
Anything.
Crest work.
I'm busy.
So then, to pass the time during that day, Roshan will get a mage hand to take a gold piece at a time and just drop it into Gorbjorn's lap from above, just to make him think it's raining gold.
Yeah, Gorbjorn, occasionally a gold just falls from the sky into your lap.
I like to imagine that it lands right where I was gonna draw the moon, and it's like, I could just trace the circle.
It's a sign.
Because I was like working with like, do I do crescent moon, a full moon, and then like the gold piece lands there. I'm like, gold moon.
Gold
Yep.
moon.
Old moon.
Yeah. Gold
How
moon.
many pieces do you send Gorbjorn's way?
Over the course of that day, I'll say like 6.
Okay.
Got it.
Gorbjorn, you require 6 gold.
I
always
love how we're just
getting gold.
passing money between each other just for funsies.
Whole party just shifting money about.
That's how, I mean,
This is
it
the
works in the
economy.
20th century. Yeah.
There you go.
Friends share the
It's
same
the
$60.
same dollar
It's
making its
true.
way around.
Hey man, can you
This is
pay for
capitalism,
my
beach.
lunch till I get my paycheck, and then I'll get your lunch? Yep.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. That's how I live.
Wow. All right. Gorbjorn, go ahead and give me another intelligence check with advantage, and we'll see how we're doing today on our crest.
Get it, bud.
Oh, I saw a natural 20, but my other dice hit it off to 17. So that's a 16 total.
Yeah. Ink looks over. I think out the whole time that they ride with you is mostly Chelsea. So she kind of like leans
Makes
over.
sense.
That's looking really good. I think you're onto something.
And then taking that, I'm just going to trace over that again to like get a second copy of it, probably
Mhm.
cleaner.
Nice.
Right. Refining.
Yeah.
And we should
Working out the
also think of like there's usually like a statement, and like sometimes there's a little banner, a little statement at the bottom. Not necessary, but you know, it could literally be anything. It's like there's one, it's just again and again, but in fancy script. What does it mean? I don't know. Rich people will write anything on anything and feel really great about it. So if there's a statement that speaks to you, I say go with it. Something to consider.
All the better if it's both enigmatic and inspirational.
I think me, Jillian, I think like the translation of my family crest is again and again. And I'm like, all right, guys.
We're going through this shit. Oh shit, here we go again.
boys.
The same shit as always.
Just doesn't stop, does it?
Well, the
Don't
years
stop
don't
coming,
stop
and it
coming,
don't
and they
stop
don't
coming,
stop
and they
coming,
don't
and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
And speaking of such, the carts continue onwards. Fen, give me a perception check.
That's a 14.
Carts
Low
go
for you.
by, people go by, occasional animal scurries past. Kind of checking them all out. Eyes do linger on the cart, but then you take into consideration it's a nice cart. And as you're going forward, you see a couple carts making their way forward. Back behind you, Gorbjorn, you watch Ink lean forward a bit and then pull out like a little spyglass. Pull over here, pull over. And Ink pulls on the reins and jumps out of the cart and starts pulling things open.
Oh,
Pulling what out? Open what?
Yeah, starts putting the museum back together.
Okay.
Oh, all right. We're setting up then.
We're setting up.
I'll help.
Boof, boof.
Whatever we
Fen,
can
you-
help with without getting squished.
Yeah. Fen, you you go to reach for something and it just it reaches over, hits your hand. Nope. Just
mm.
don't touch it.
Or
But
else
he
you
does
go
show you
squish.
pedestals that you can touch. So you can grab pedestals and
Mm.
put them out. You just can't touch the objects. But Fen, you can see the group approaching, and you see that they've stopped behind you and have started opening up the museum. It looks like 2 carts, both with families on them.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
So,
and these are
couple adults
approaching
and some children.
from the front, the opposite direction. They're not making ground on us. Oh,
Yeah. It would be like this. You guys would go
Okay.
past each other in the night.
So I will. Fen's gonna go ahead and cast disguise self on himself to look like a Jarlsman. So just like generic human male, with whatever we've seen Jarlsman wearing, and he's gonna approach the cart that's coming down the road.
Is I, Gene Humanman.
Yes.
I always
exactly.
imagine my disguised self is just I look like me. And it's just okay.
Yeah,
It-
Fen looks like him, except no brindling, no stripes, and
No elf ears.
no elf ears. That's
And
it.
like
Just,
a more Jarl's mini.
yeah. Well, and
armor, I guess.
the clothes are different. The clothes look like
Yeah.
whatever Jarl's been wearing.
You would do the more purple tint of a Jarl of this area instead of the bluer tint of the West.
Yeah. Whatever we've been seeing in this area is the Jarl's.
You approach this cart. The lead cart starts to slow. Is there a problem?
Oh no problem. No problem whatsoever. And Fen's gonna extend his hand to shake the hand of the person that he's greeting.
The man looks over at the woman next to him and then kind of gives her a nod, and then he leans down a bit and he takes your hand.
Just back there, piece. There's a traveling curiosities museum. Just wanted to know if you had any interest in seeing it. Lots of very interesting artifacts. For a small price, very very well worth it from what I've seen. Wanted to know which among you would like to see it. And I'm trying to get an eye over the group and see if there's anybody that looks suspicious or anything like that while I'm doing that.
Go ahead and roll insight.
18.
Okay.
Not too bad.
You're I
Good roll.
am getting really good at reading the faces, mostly when the faces want to throw hands or pretending like they don't want to, but I know they do. And just scanning each face. The children, definitely, there are more children than adults with both carts together. Maybe 4 adults, an older teenager, and then 6 kids aging from, it looks like there's a baby and then up to maybe 10 is the span of these kids. And
we take
the
'em?
kids are
Can we take him?
Oh, in a fight. I thought you meant we're still the children. I'm like, no.
I could kick their ass. I'll fight that baby. Nobody reads as suspicious to you. What you do pick up on is that this man was a little nervous having a Jarlsman come up and talk to him,
Well,
but seems
I'll-
to have relaxed a bit.
I'll talk to them on the way over to the cart if that's the direct. I assume that's still the direction they're going, whether they are
Turn around, they're
patrons or not.
actually, we're good.
So, where are you folks headed?
We were we've heard a lot of good things about the West recently. So we're a long ride, but we're heading west.
Are there bad things being said about the East? The East is a wonderful place from what I've seen.
Um,
Yeah, Fennel fucked that up, so leave that in.
He's like personable person. It's like, ugh. He looks at you. It was, but you know, after all the corruption's gotten so bad, that we thought we would go somewhere that people have been saying has been pretty safe.
Where are you headed from?
Go ahead and roll persuasion if you'd be so kind.
I'm gonna while this is happening, I'm gonna hand out like dried fruits, like if I get like dried apricots or anything to the kids, like whatever's sweet. Like that is an at 20. So let me make sure I don't have any negative modifiers. So that is it. That's so straight in that 20. So
Ha ha!
All right. The man looks at you. We came from a bit further north. We tried out different areas. We went to the coast, maybe thinking that would be better, and it doesn't seem to be. We came from Marcilla Lake, much more north. We wanted to get some distance from the forest, and then everything seems a bit rough now, you know.
problems with corruption, is that what drives you on?
Yeah. You guys are doing your best, and he like looks at you. You guys are certainly working hard, and we can all see that, but we have to do what's right for us, I think. And that's get out of here.
And that's fine. Do you know where you plan to settle?
We've heard of a few good places. Ink is on top of the cart and is screaming about the museum now. As he screams,
course.
curiosities, oddities, Ink's traveling museum, and they're like, oh, and the kids just get real excited again.
Of course they do.
And kind of cuts into your conversation as they pull their cart off a bit to the side. And both families walking with you make their way over to the museum. It is pretty similar to the original setup. There is no longer a split world tree, but there is like this beautiful sort of mass of twine and beads and string and such, and like leather wraps around it.
Is this the
and
biggest ball of twine?
the biggest ball of twine in the East,
Oh
boys.
my
Oh my
It's not
God.
very big, but nobody's making balls of twine like they used to.
Who knew it would be here?
Here at this traveling museum,
Wow.
It's more
there's
likely than you
also
think.
a lot more like little statues and things that look like old toys and those things that are set up in certain spots. And you watch Ink go through the rigmarole of talking to them. There's no threats this time, and it's none of these statues will crush you if you touch anything. He gives like fair warning, like make sure you don't touch anything. Everything's very fragile, but it is a much different warning than what you guys got. And he also asks for 1 copper per family instead of the
Aw.
gold that was asked of you.
That makes sense.
The
And to
audacity.
hand it over,
How dare you charge less for these families who have mouths to feed?
I was kind of rocking the bling bling, so he was just like, "Oh yeah, easy."
came
That's
up
fair.
looking
That's true.
real rich.
Like a high roller, you know?
Yeah,
You know, you got to read the room.
gold means nothing to people like that. It's a status thing, not a
That's
price.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta throw down a gold at least, or else
I
you
would
just
be
can't show your
insulted
face
if
at the
I
club.
was charged a copper.
Be like, boo. First off,
It's like
I don't
At
carry
least a
coppers.
silver.
I mean, it's like it's one banana. How much could it cost? $7? Sorry.
Can't be more than $7-8. Sorry, I'm good. Ink looks over the group, talks, and is like, all right, let me go get Chelsea and she will give you the tour. And he walks around the back. And then Chelsea comes around the front, but this Chelsea looks a lot different. It is an older woman, just like plump grandma vibes as she walks
Aw.
over. Hello, my name is Chelsea, and I'm going to show you all the oddities of the museum. And like all the kids are like, wow, okay.
Ooh, cool
And
grandma.
you watch older Chelsea go through similar spiels that you heard, and it's like, this toy was recovered at the site of the original fall, blah, blah, blah. It's similar items being like, it's from this era, but it's like, you guys would be like, oh, cool, a toy, neat.
Mm.
And is anybody
just-
keeping an eye out?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, Fenn's like standing like Jarlsman would stand, keeping an eye out, but like at the same time, like if he could get Gorbjorn to stand next to him to be like, can you believe they charged this family 7 copper and they only charged us 1 gold? Like, it seems exploitative, if nothing else.
I am too busy drawn with my wolves to notice
Oh,
people.
All right,
Yeah.
never mind. Then whoever's nearby,
Nodding next to you.
I'll
Mhm.
bitch to them about that.
Yeah, gold. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be a prince. I'm gonna be a prince.
uh,
Yeah, but Fenn's keeping on the persona of a Jarlsman. He's standing up and keeping an eye out around. Probably not as much like the kids as he probably should be, considering that if one of them steals something, they'll get smashed by a
Nana's
statue.
keeping an eye on the kids. Like
Donna's eyes are just fully on the children.
Like
Um,
she knows. She's seen little uns around the village before. She knows the shit they get into. She used to be one.
You watch, keeping an eye out. The occasion during this, another cart does come up. Just has, it looks like a couple on it who jump off and end up paying a copper as well. And Ink seems content to like stay set up here for a hot second.
Sure.
As Chelsea goes through the rigmarole and continues to tell the stories to the people. There's like, you and Ink catch this person at the same time. There's like a 5-year-old who like has been staring so intensely at the strings dangling. And you watch as like you can feel the intention, and then you watch as Grandma Chelsea's hand like grabs the small hand and then just holds it
No.
and just kind of like walks around with them like, all right, and over here. And then the kid's like, you've won this round.
Darn you,
It doesn't,
nice old
doesn't seem
grandma
to
lady.
fight it, but it's like, you win today, Grandma. But you guys say set up for like an hour. You guys spend the time, people eventually leave. Ink comes back out. That was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah, so if it's an hour, my disguise self fades.
Just casually go behind the cart like Ink does and come back
Yeah.
to different.
Fen has now picked up a new camouflage technique. Pass behind object. Rely on
All right, yeah, I will.
rely
I
on
will go ahead and
object
cast-
permanence.
I'll cast that a second time.
Eh,
Oh, not a second level. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no.
So you cast
could
it
just-
again.
Yeah, I'll cast it a second time.
Before the first family leaves, they approach you. I'm sorry, Jarlsman, I didn't get your name.
Fenric. My name's Fenric.
I like the name Fenric. I just like that
Fenric
as a
is
person.
good.
Go ahead and roll deception, please.
Oh yeah, this is gonna go well.
Come on, buddy.
I have no negative modifiers, but this is an 8. So
So what do you got?
as bad as Fen is at lying, because of the way D&D works, I don't have any negative modifiers.
What does it add up to? I didn't hear.
It's an 8. It's an 8.
Oh, okay. The man looks at you and says, "Well, it's nice to meet you, Jarlsman Fenric."
It was wonderful to meet you as well. And where are you settling in the West?
We aren't incredibly sure yet. We've heard about a small town, Galunder, that seems to be
Galunda is
a
lovely.
safe place.
Galunda is lovely. It's quite the hike from the Hammer, but it could not be a more welcoming place.
That's
Your
That's good to
family
hear.
your family and your children would do well there.
Thank you. And the family continues on westward, and the lot of you watch as Ink sets things up and like lets you grab pedestals and stuff if you still want
Yeah.
help.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
about that. Is everybody ready to get moving?
I think so, yes.
I suppose so. I'll get back out there. And is that a better way for me to contact you when there are things coming down the road, to let you know if they're threatening or more welcome, like we just had?
I will
Well-
leave that to all of your discretions.
All right. Well, as it stands, if anything bad goes on, I'll send Jenny back to let Gorbion know. And just as long, Gorbion, if I send her back, that means something's wrong, right?
I thought I was inside. Kind of just...
Look over to where he was and he's gone.
Yeah, he's just inside the cart, like,
I'm
just like
working.
scribbling on his crest.
Listen,
perhaps
I'm
you
sorry. I
may
got him
want-
on a hobby. He's
Yeah.
very excited about it.
He's doing a lovely job
Right.
from the looks
Nan-
of it.
Nana, can you-
honestly.
Any chance you could tell her to teach her to identify you as well?
If she's
From the pocket,
willing-
you watch Jenny just like narrow her little bird eyes.
If she's willing, she's spicy.
It's just a matter of comprehension. I think that she means well. I assume she does.
Eyes
Oh,
narrow
she
even further.
comprehends.
Stares at Nana.
Nana's just like, she feels the weight of her sins crawling up her back. Just under this stare from this tiny bird, she's just like, yeah, it'll be fine.
So are you attempting to communicate with Jenny?
Yes, Nana will attempt to communicate with Jenny utilizing speak with animals.
Roll animal handling, please, and then tell me what you tell her.
Yoki dokie. eh. Let's see. Hey, that is a 4.
I'm gonna preempt this with giving Jenny a grub or something like that, just to.
Yeah. Nana can sweeten the deal with some good berries if that'll get her over. I don't know.
These incredibly dried, salted berries.
If she good berries them, they plump up some.
Still
how
covered
the
in
magic
salt.
do.
Good raisins. Mm.
The good rays. What do you say to her?
Jenny, it seems like Gorbjorn won't be able to respond if you come to get him. Would you be willing to come to one of the rest of us instead? Myself, Roshan?
No.
No?
No. Tell him to give me another grub.
She does need another grub.
Oh, if she's hungry, all she needs to do is peck a little bit. Here you go, Jenny. I'm sorry.
Very happy to eat.
Yeah, of course she is. Would... I can find some other food for you if you would rather do some barter on this occasion.
No, I'm fine.
Oh.
Green guy or nothing at all.
Mm. All right then. I'll just keep an eye on him. Thank you, Jenny.
He does not reply. She just gets
She
comfortable
doesn't
and like,
like me. She doesn't like me.
How can
She
anyone
said,
not like you? Nana?
Gorbjorn or nothing. She said, Gorbjorn or nothing. That's what she said.
I'm not sure her reasoning for that. Maybe it's because he's warmer. Maybe because he gives up more body heat. I don't know.
I think it's because she just does not really feel inclined to do anything else for the moment.
All right, that's fine. Well, as long as Gorbjorn keeps the door open so I can inform you if there's something coming down the road.
I'll do my best to keep
If
an
they're-
eye on the cart ahead.
If they're safe, I'll escort them back to you. If they're dangerous, I'll send Jenny to see Gorbjorn and hopefully he can respond.
I'll look out for her flying towards the cart. How's that?
She's very small, but if you can see it, then all the better. Thank you.
During the daylight, my eyesight is not very bad.
I know that about you. You're quite
Sean
perceptive.
already in the cart. Just like, I just see him sitting there, arms crossed and waiting.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Let's
and-
get on then.
and Ink's cart begins to move, and everyone gets back in step, moving forward. The day progresses. The sun begins to set, and just as the sky is getting just a bit red, you all arrive in between.
In between what?
Night.
Nothing. I was just fucking around. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Another pun.
I didn't hear it. You win this round. This area is busy with people. It looks like people just getting off of work, heading out where they're going, either going home or going to get drinks. You see carts. You see, as you make your way in, there is sort of an open air shop. It doesn't seem to have like a front to it. It's almost just like a garage in shape. And inside you see an older man and a woman in a chair with wheels as she pushes it forward, and she circles this pretty low riding cart with very specific wheels. You all recognize this as a cart that would be used to cross the bridge. And you can see like the woman walking rolling around, and she like gets to a wheel and she starts sort of chipping at parts of it as the man kind of like talks over at her.
So it looks like they're doing repair work.
It looks like they are in the process of constructing one.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Weird. Why would they need
Um,
another cart?
No. Well, I mean, interesting that we come across the supplier for that very same chain. Chances are good they were already informed of us.
We know you. They look like they're starting to end things for the night. You don't have to talk to them. It's just something you see.
Does it look like the same kind of cart? Like, is it the same maker, or does this look like we want to cross and we can't afford a cart, so we're gonna build our own?
This looks like it is currently like it's a shop, and this is what this shop does. You think
Okay.
this is the manufacturer of these carts? Yes.
Nana would just like to find out from them, if possible, how far from here to the nearest inn or wayhouse.
The man comes over. Yeah, no problem. and begins to point out. Tree in the center of town to the left of it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Of course. And he goes over, Kryn, let's go. And she's like, okay. And they pull like a tarp over the cart as you all continue onwards into town. Now knowing that at least where the carts come from, if not maybe the only place the carts come from, we're unsure.
We might
But
need
you
to
push-
come back through here to get one so we can safely cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy
I'd rather buy
wholesale
one from the
maker.
maker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than
No
rent it.
middleman.
Boo.
We get our
Then
lowrider
purchase
from the
before.
source.
Yeah. That's how we
We'll
do
get
here.
it all. We'll get it fitted with a wrap.
Is this between customs?
This is kind of like skipping Amazon is like what it is, where you're just like,
Yeah.
I'll go to the actual shop. I'll just wait a little longer.
Yeah.
But you continue forward to the center of town and you see the tree. White bark, purple leaves.
Awkward.
Everyone.
So the god's been
Mm.
through here then.
And you see the inn to the left. Its name is the Wealthy Vagrant.
Interesting choice. Well, what is your usual mode of operations when you get to town like this, then, Ink?
Like kind of leans over. Well, I usually pay the keeper of carts a very handsome sum. And a lot of the times I will try to find people to protect the cart at night. It is up to your discretion, but it will be kept safe by someone to an extent. It's just how much do you want to bet 200 gold on it? It's up to you all. But I haven't had an issue with it in the past.
Stay with the cart while I'm awake if someone wants to share that shift with me.
But I would love to buy each of you a drink just for the slow pace. And I promise if the pace continues to be even more slow, I will add to the amount. And the
That
price will
seems
go up for as many days that the time increases.
Very kind. We appreciate that.
Hops off the cart. I'm sure she'll be fine for a moment. She has 2 very large stone golems on top of her. And this very nice young man who you watch him put 15 gold into this like kid's hand.
Oh
And
my
he's
god.
like, oh.
Holy shit.
Smash it.
This is more money than I've ever seen in my life.
Let's go in. I'll get everyone a drink. And then you can decide how security you wish to be. And Ink begins to head inside.
All right.
Can I can you describe the tree to us? I mean, I know white bark, purple flowers, or purple leaves, like low hanging branches, tall tree.
The branches are pretty high up. It is near identical to the one that you watched Bosch create. And you can see from a few of the lower branches, which it's not like you could like jump and like smack them. But you can see those sort of twisted reeds in the shape of the symbol that the group had been using.
Have any leaves fallen from it?
Yes, but very few.
I'd like to collect a few leaves. And I would like to scrape off a bit of the bark towards the base. Like, if
Are
I
you
can
being
do
stealthy about that?
I'm being surreptitious about it. I'm not trying to make it obvious that I'm defacing your tree. But
Then
yeah,
I'd like you to roll stealth, please.
okay, stealth. Good deal. A 26 to stealth.
Super casual. You go into a shadow, you're gone to like half the population. Yeah, you're able to get a little piece of the bark.
Okay. And I just want to bring that in with me and investigate it while we're sitting around a high top or something like that.
Yeah. You all go inside. Ink also continues to speak, and it's only fair. I'll pay for your rooms. Only fair. And just kind of boisterous as they walk in, and then you watch Ink sort of take stock of the room. There's an energy to the place, and it is a familiar energy. As you hear people singing, and they're dancing, and they're drinking. There is a man with a black eye, fully unconscious, on a chair.
Yeah.
And after
that's
sort
familiar.
of taking it in for a moment, you think this is a little small scale funeral. After sort of feeling the energy of the place, and it's a very particular type of celebrating, and it's a little visceral, but smiles on the face, people talking and having a good time. And you can see in the back corner, Ink has continued forward and started ordering drinks. There's an old woman facing away from you, talking to someone at a table, and she's like, it's the least I could do. You've done so much for us, and I want to give you something. And you hear her reply, no, honestly, the bread you made is perfectly fine. And the old woman looks like she reaches forward and clasps somebody's hand, and then turns and walks away. And you see seated at this corner table is Sunny. Blonde hair and a ponytail, familiar hood and cloak. She glances over at you all as you walk in, gives a smile, and then focuses back on the people. Ink is unaware of all of this, and he sets all the drinks down. Enjoy, have a good drink. I'll get rooms.
Thank you.
Get me one for myself, and if that costs extra, I'll pay for it from my stores.
Not the sharing type?
I like it quiet.
He gets restless at night sometimes.
Well, good luck with that tonight. And Ink sort of smiles as just a full person flies past behind him.
Well, Nana, do you have a moment?
Certainly.
Gorbjorn, there's an old friend of ours. Do you mind keeping it company? Gorbjorn?
Hello? Yes?
Didn't hear
There's
that.
an old friend of ours. Do you mind keeping a company?
Not dressed to the nines and with my stolen gear, obviously. I will definitely go say hi to Sunny. Is anybody coming with me?
Uh,
Nana Gorbjorn. Or sorry, not Nana Roshan. They obviously displayed sympathies towards you know who when we saw them last. You think we should stay here, or do you think we should push on? We've already been made, as it were. But do you think these people are safe to keep around a cart full of divine artifacts?
So long as they don't catch wind that that's what's here, which, frankly, you don't want Gorbjorn entertaining her if that's the
I
case.
just wanted a moment with you.
Right. No, I
not
understand.
being
I'm
listened
only
to.
saying. No, I understand. I'm only saying I don't think I would leave. I wouldn't leave Gorbjorn in charge of keeping things clandestine. That's all.
But also, I don't disagree. But also, I think that Ink will try to sell a tool to anybody who he sees. If he can put some gold in, or copper, or whatever it is, in his pocket, and and I think it might be best to move along rather than stay here. That's my
Why-
opinion.
Why do you think they would have any ill will toward Ink or the museum?
I just if they are creatures of Bosch,
Hi, Sonny.
I-
How you doing?
I
Yeah,
think that they
Gorgor's fully
might
made his way over.
it might having divine artifacts might be something that they want to have their hands on.
Well, I
Exactly,
don't
dude.
think this is a small town, right? Doesn't seem like there's going to be another inn.
It's a pretty small town.
I don't think there's another inn in town, and I doubt that Ink would want to leave with such lucrative opportunities as our surroundings.
I'm not gonna pretend to be a stranger.
That's fair.
All right, just my thoughts on the matter, and here, Nana, you take my drinks for the night, and Roshan, you take or Gorbjorn will take Toldrix, and I'm gonna go sit out. Fen will sit out by the cart.
Fair enough.
Gorgrin's already over at like the table and just like done an
Yeah.
arm down on it. Like, hey, Gorgrin, you approach
Hey.
Sunny and she looks up at you. Well, hey there. How are you doing?
Pretty well. Feeling like I need a drink. Don't
Then you should probably go buy one.
someone's getting me one.
Oh,
They're taking a while.
I see. Well, don't let me get in your way then.
Well then, what are you doing here?
She smiles. I'll tell you why I'm here if you tell me why you're here.
I'm traveling through town. I'm just in between.
As
As-
are we all.
As luck would have it, I'm also traveling through town. I'm also in between. And she smiles real big.
It's fucking funny. Should Roshan and Nana walk up or just leave this be for a little bit?
It's up to you guys.
Roshan will walk up and
Nana's
say,
got to bring Gorbjorn his drink after all. He forgot it
There you
over on the
go.
other table.
well, welcome to In Between. It's sort of interesting that we keep seeing you out on the trail.
It is a bit of a coinky dink, isn't it? 3 times now.
Maybe we're bound by fate to be together.
Or maybe you're following me. And she like narrows her eyes and then she laughs. I'm only
Well, if you
joshing.
remember correctly, you followed us to the second time.
Actually, I
is-
believe that we were in town for a few days before you possibly showed up, and we were at the event before you.
Well, but we left in that direction first. You were sitting around your cart when we left, so you must have followed after us because we were so handsome, smelled so good. I'm not sure.
Seems I'm not so sure either. Is there something I can help you with? You're welcome to sit down and have a drink if you're so interested. I'm happy to chit chat.
Just thought I might say hello to a friendly face. You've been staying safe out there, have you?
Oddly safe. Sometimes you expect things to go a little off kilter, but maybe everybody's keeping a level head currently.
In the industry you're in, one would expect off kilter more than regularly.
And-
You don't know who the funeral is for, do you?
Oh, I do. It is for Meryl's husband, Verlin.
Do you come from around here?
No, but I was able to help with the funeral a bit. Spread some goodwill.
Well, I bet they appreciated that.
They seem so. They keep trying to offer me money and not doing it for the money. Though she does make very good bread, and I'll take that any day.
We may have to see if we can get a hold of some of that bread. I don't know if we can preserve any of it long enough for it to reach some of our other friends who have gone on other journeys, but who knows?
Huh. Sorry to hear your group's all split up.
Different folk must needs travel different ways. We had to say farewell to one of our members, had other business, personal. It was important.
So are you sitting down, or is it just pleasantries? What are we doing?
Roshan will raise his glass and raise it to the entire bar and say, "To our friends and the friends we've lost along the way."
Here.
It is a rallying cry from the bar. Sunny also raises her glass and sort of like looks over the bar. May the guard continue to protect us. And she downs the drink, and there is a rallying cry that follows.
Roshan will not engage any further.
She smiles. Anything else?
That was all. It's good to see you well.
I think we all should aim to be well. I'd love to keep it that way.
Some days seems it's all we can do.
Can I insight that? Was she being a little threatening there? Or
Awfully passive aggressive.
Oh, I'll tell you straight up, it was vaguely a threat.
Oh, love that. Love that about.
Smile just stays on the face, but she was not trying to disguise that in any way.
Love that for us.
Why is she being threatening? We were just nice to her.
And we haven't talked shit about her boyfriend, the guard, in a hot minute either.
I haven't even talked shit today about your boyfriend.
Gee.
Well, you all have a lovely night. Funerals
And you
are
as well.
usually incredibly fun.
Raucous affair. Enjoy yourself.
Of course. You as well.
Good night.
She gets comfortable in her seat and continues to drink her drink.
Nana is internally seething, but this is fine.
After Roshan finishes his drink, he's not going to stay around for the festivities. He's going to collect his room key and disappear.
Makes sense.
Ink has disappeared into the festivities, and by disappeared, I mean which one's Ink, you're not entirely sure.
Makes sense.
One of these is probably Ink. Based on, you're like looking for the outfit. You're like, let me find the uniform. What are
Like,
Nana
where's
and
Waldo?
Bjorn doing?
Well, I feel like since Fen is keeping watch on the cart and Tordrick's passed out and Roshan is being a book nerd, Nana will
Fucking
Kinda-
nerd.
Nana will go to one side with Gorbjorn and maybe ask him if he can like pick up anything else about her weird box from Loki. She doesn't necessarily want to take it out in front of Ink.
Yeah, no, we have cool shit.
It's
Um,
like, I mean, it's like, it is.
And I'm going to be
directly from
perfectly
his-
honest with you guys, just full transparency. From what you have tried and just looking at it
Yeah.
in wolf eyes and the things of that nature,
Yeah.
you have gotten what you can get from it.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm gonna say not the
Okay.
time and place.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, then in that case, it's just going to be a night of we drink and talk
Make
about
merry.
home. And if Gorbjorn is missing his wolves, then Nana will comfort him on that.
Well, I was gonna find comfort in
Ha! Never mind
in
then.
between someone's legs. Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
got things to do, boys.
In
Um,
between.
Hey guys, welcome to In Between.
The backs of gods.
Take it as
The-
you see it. Anywho, moving along. I regret the pause. Roshan upstairs, Fen, basically out back with this kid who's like counting his gold, like, oh hell yeah, and like puts it away, and he's like tending to horses and whatnot. Gorbjorn is off to find a friend for the evening, and Nana, you drink at the bar, and kind of keeping an eye out. You see movement next to you, and somebody sits next to you at the bar, and it's Sunny.
Mm. Hello.
Hey there. You know, would you like to talk to him?
Now?
Now? Public place? Not exactly here, but it'll be in public if that makes you feel better. He's willing to talk.
Take it.
Don't think me rude, but what is it? What else does he have to say?
Well, I'm not him. Can't speak for the man. But he seemed interested in speaking to you.
Right. Public
But-
place? I'd be fine with that.
Of course, just right outside. If I'll tell you this much, things have been pretty civil. We don't plan on changing that. This is just for you. You and him.
All right. So long as things stay civil, I'll be civil.
I like to hear. Follow me. Sunny gets up from the bar.
Nana will follow.
Both of you make your way through, and the only person who could have possibly seen you is, I was about to say deep in it, and I regret everything.
Deep
Lost
in
in the
between.
sauce, boys!
He's deep in that between spirit. There's an energy to the place, and you guys never leave.
Woohoo!
Nana, you follow Sunny outside. Kind of keeps that smile on her face and walks next to you. You ready?
As I'll ever be.
All right. You follow her around the tree and sitting on a bench beneath it, hood down, is Bosch. And he glances over at you and he like pats the spot next to him on the bench.
Nana will sit.
What's your passive perception?
Fine. It's a good question. If my keyboard would just work with me. Passive perception 16.
You take a glance over him. And cloak's pulled back a bit and you can see where one of his arms rests on his knee. And
He only
there's no
has
other
one.
arm to greet it. What?
I was saying he only has one. You said one of his arms. So
Yeah,
Good.
I was about to imply the other was
All right,
not there.
Sorry, my bad.
I was about to inform. The man has one arm. And he sits sort of like eyes tilted up a bit, looking to the purple leaves. And you glance him over and you can see he still has a bow on his back. Still has a long bow. You kind of keep an eye over, and you can see that there are these leather straps. They look newer across his chest, and there's a spot near the shoulder where you can just see the beginning of a hook. It looks like some sort of device attached to his shoulder.
I was probably better at shooting now.
Yeah, I'm
Probably
thinking
so
like,
damn good at it.
God damn it, magic prosthetic or some shit. Nana wouldn't know that, but
Yeah, you can see that there's no arm to be seen, but there is just a small hook right here on the shoulder.
Hmm.
And he takes a
Prosthetic
moment
of archery.
and he takes a look over at you. I wanted to thank you personally for your participation and, more currently, your control.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is. I expected to hear bloodshed on the road. I'm not sure what has led you to this choice currently, self-preservation or otherwise. But I think it's a good path. I think it's a smart path.
It's what's necessary.
I agree. I'm telling you at this time. There's no ire from me. There may be some for you. And I understand that, and that is fine. I have no intent to hunt you down or attack you on the road. That's not currently my mindset.
So what changed between Galunda and here?
A lot has changed. You're very right.
You left rather clear words.
I tried for many years the calling to be a ranger, the need to be outside and the need to be one with nature, and yet to feel as if I am helping the people. I spent many years trying to ingrain that into myself. And I couldn't. It made me sick. I couldn't move against her. She would raise something from the earth and I would end it, and I would be ill. So I stopped trying eventually. How do you do it? How does it? So many of you. It just seems as if a betrayal to me. And that is my own opinion. To tell nature she is wrong. I can't do it. I can't do it again.
I don't see nature as wrong. I don't see life as wrong either.
No. The word life. This is life. And he points to the tree. And then he points to the barren ground in front of him. And then hands over the buildings. And this has turned it to nothing.
In some
They
places.
tread on her with no regard for her. As if they do not stand upon a body. as if they do not understand that Ymir lies below them and they just desecrate it. How does
Maybe
it
that
not
is our
make you
failing.
sick?
Maybe it is our failing for not teaching our love better. Our love for the world, for nature.
Mm.
Perhaps if we had better words, better ways to teach our homes, communities, towns, to care for the world, so that it would care for us in turn.
It's a bit late now.
I don't
And
know
you can
about
say
that.
what you like about that, hopeful and whatnot. But people will continue to thrive. And they will continue to push, and they will make their magics, as you all have done, to do something to push the earth around and manipulate it. But eventually, you will be dirt. Eventually, I will be dirt. And
I
what
have
will
to
be
wonder
left
why
behind
you
us
aren't
will
yet.
be astounding. When we are gone, there will be only beauty left behind.
Only one kind of beauty. And that's very limiting.
I trust nature's choice over mine, and I will serve her until the end. I did want to pose a question to you, something less philosophical. I think it's only fair. The earth has always spoken to me in some form, but after an offering was given, and he like grabs his shoulder, I feel like she really began to see me. And I should thank you all for that to some extent. But here's my kindness to you, besides the information that if you step in my way, you'll find the dirt sooner than you like, instead of on your own terms. My question is, what do you plan to do with this gift you have been given? And he points to your chest.
Does it seem like he's referring to just Nana's life, or does it seem like he's pointing at something specific?
He's pointing at the center of your chest currently.
My life, you mean?
Well, to some extent, more about the gift. The gift that nature gave you, decided to bless upon you, I'm assuming very recently. And he like taps his own chest. It was inside you, yes?
The worms.
The worms, yes, may be gone. I can't feel them. But it's still in there. It's not gone. What do you plan to do with it? And by that, I mean this gift that the gods saw fit to give you. And you tarnished most of it. And I would just like to extend an olive branch that I know you will not accept, but I would love you to consider in some fashion, is that I could show you how to use that. And I already know that it's a no. But you should know that you have a blessing. a piece of the earth inside of you, and I wouldn't squander it.
That knowledge is gift enough. Very princely. Well, thank you for it.
Of course. I thought it only fair. I thought it a small kindness. And I have no room left for any more.
Then I believe that is all that is needed to be said.
Hopefully, you stick to your business. And I will stick to mine. And we'll be seeing more trees.
We'll see. Depends on what else we see fall in their place.
We'll
Good
see
night.
then. Good night. I have a meeting to get to. It's a far trip to Noaten. There's a woman who's very interested in speaking to me. I don't want to keep her waiting too long. You enjoy your night. Bosch stands up
And you?
and places his hand against the tree, and you watch as a glowing archway slowly begins to appear. Good night, Nana Hemming's daughter. Let's hope you return to the earth on your own terms. And he steps inside.
What does the portal look like?
It looks like a shining doorway, and you can see kind of shadowish images of another spot. Like you can see vaguely where it leads. You can see other trees sort of shadowed in darkness. It's still nighttime.
Okay. Any telltale details that seem like they could be recognized if I could see them in person?
Roll a perception check.
All right. 15.
The door only stays open for a handful of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
As it shifts away, you can hear the sound of the ocean.
Trees by the ocean. If there's any of Bosch's people left,
Sunny
Nana
did
will...
not leave the area.
Sunny did not?
No, Sunny is still there. Very much
Okay.
so.
Nana will give her a nod and will head towards the inn unless she stops her.
She doesn't. Her eyes seem to be sort of stuck on the spot that Bosch left through. And there's just like a soft sigh. So you make your way back into the inn. And the sound of the funeral rages on. And that is
The
where we
real
are going to
rager.
stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. I love telling you guys a story. Sometimes Bosch shows up and yeah, nobody died. Good job, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching here at the Dice Cult. We have a bunch of stuff going on. And my brain stopped because we do the bi-weekly thing and then my brain shuts up. But this is the off week for both shows. Legends of Theia, which goes up on Tuesdays at, I believe, around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is run by Frank. That will be going up again next week. And next week on Wednesday, over on the YouTube channel, we will have Cordially Invited, which is a bunch of D&D players try to have a wedding, and I will let you infer from there. Honestly, I feel like that's the description for it. Magic people try make weddings, and good luck everyone involved. You can see that over on Wednesdays on the YouTube channel. You can also watch all past episodes of On the Backs of Gods and what have you over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Dice Cult. And on Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and The Last Remaining Light, which goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. as I keep stating, we're nearing the end of things, folks. It is a do or die situation, and currently we have the means to locate the body of a very powerful vampire who is about to get their shit rocked. And then we have to decide how much we want to involve the Second Inquisition in anything we're doing. So really, it's a moment for deciding things. And I feel like we are the type for some bullshit choices. So we'll see what that ends up being. If you want to catch some vampire drama, you can join us on Saturday. If you want to keep up with us as a group, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. Once again, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. We love having you guys here. We go live same time, same place every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will see you guys next week. Good night.
Boy.
Have a great night, cultists.